Ethan Cole had never been much of an animal person. He worked long hours, lived alone in his apartment, and considered a houseplant the most responsibility he could manage. Still, when the advertisement for a smart pet companion, the ultimate AI-based pet experience, flashed across his tablet, curiosity got the better of him. The brochure promised low maintenance, advanced learning, and emotional responsiveness. The model name was Unit K, 9X, which sounded like some futuristic robotic dog. Ethan figured it would be a good distraction from his lonely evenings. So, on a whim, he ordered it. 3 days later, a sleek black shipping pod arrived at his doorstep. The pod hissed open, and instead of a robotic pup, a small figure tumbled out, barely 4 feet tall, wrapped in a silver fabric that looked like it had grown directly on her skin. She blinked up at him with luminous violet eyes. "Caretaker?" she asked in a trembling voice. Ethan froze. This was no AI toy. This was a child. No, not quite human, but humanoid. Her ears slightly pointed, her hair a shifting gradient of silver blue. "What the hell?" he muttered. "I ordered a smart pet, not—" She tilted her head. "Designation, Asset K, 9X. I belong to you." The word stabbed him with unease. Belong? Like property? Ethan's first instinct was to call customer support, demand a return, maybe even alert the authorities. But as the girl stood, shivering in his doorway, fear flickering across her alien features, something in him wavered. He sighed and held out a hand. "Okay, come inside." The first few days were chaos. She didn't understand human customs. She tried to eat soap, mistook the refrigerator for a sleeping pod, and had a habit of staring out the window for hours, whispering in a language Ethan couldn't decipher. He learned her name wasn't K, 9X, but Kaiera. She explained, in broken English, that she had been part of a bonded ward program. Her species sold there. Young as living companions to powerful races across the stars, a desperate survival bargain. To the company, she was just another product, disguised under a smart pet marketing campaign to make her acceptable for human buyers. Ethan felt sick. He hadn't bought a gadget. He'd accidentally bought a life. But Kaiera was no ordinary child. She learned frighteningly fast. Within a week, she was reading his books, mimicking his speech patterns, even correcting his cooking. She began to smile, shy but genuine, when he showed her little kindnesses, a blanket, a warm meal, a story before bed. Yet the nightmares came too. Sometimes she would wake screaming, clawing at the walls, crying out in her alien tongue. Ethan would sit by her side until she calmed, though she never explained what haunted her. One evening, while Ethan was at work, his apartment door rattled violently. Kaiera hid under the table, trembling as sleek drones sliced the lock open. Men in dark uniforms stepped inside, their insignia bearing the same company logo from the shipping pod. "Retrieve the asset," one barked. Kaiera's instincts flared. Her skin shimmered, and a pulse of light rippled through the room. The drones stuttered, crashing to the floor in sparks. The men staggered, blinded. Kaiera darted into Ethan's bedroom and collapsed, drained, moments before Ethan returned home. The intruders were gone by the time he arrived, but the wreckage told the story. And Kaiera, pale and shaking, whispered only, "They'll come again." I'm not supposed to resist. That night, Ethan made his choice. Over the next weeks, he prepared. He taught Kaiera how to hide, how to move silently, how to fight in small ways. She absorbed every lesson eagerly, though her violet eyes carried the weight of guilt. "You don't have to protect me," she told him once. "If they take me, you'll be safe." Ethan shook his head. "You're not a pet. You're not property. You're family now, and family protects each other." For the first time, Kaiera's face lit up, not with fear, not with duty, but with something purely human: hope. When the company came again, expecting an easy retrieval, they found more than they bargained for. Ethan fought with the desperation of someone who had nothing left to lose. Kaiera, though terrified, unleashed her hidden energy in bursts that disabled their machines. Together, they drove the hunters back. The battle left their apartment in ruins, but neither cared. They had won a small victory, one that sent a clear message. Kaiera was no product, and Ethan was no owner. He was her guardian. In the aftermath, they fled the city. The company would not stop, but neither would they. For the first time, Ethan didn't feel alone, and Kaiera no longer felt like an orphan commodity. They were something new, an unlikely pair forged by chance, bound by choice. And somewhere out there, among the stars, the galaxy would learn a simple truth. Humans didn't abandon those they cared for.